It's a forever game.
We want to beat each other's brains out on Saturday. You too.
Good evening and welcome to The Clash, previewing the 122nd Palmetto Bowl. I'm Palmetto Sports Director Gerrity-Gemei. Over the next live half hour, we'll bring you exclusive interviews with both national champion Clemson head coaches, where I asked Danny Ford about the fashion statement his team made before beating Carolina in 1980. And despite being the official station of the Clemson Tigers, we have unbiased sports journalism, speaking with Gamecocks great and Super Bowl champion Alshon Jeffrey about his fire still burning bright for the rivalry, and a story on Alshon's quarterback, South Carolina Hall of Famer Connor Shaw, and his incredible recovery from a heart attack with the man who saved his life. Let's start with the rivalry you can't find anywhere else, the biggest storylines from this year's state championship. This game is where legends are made, and Lenoris became legend with a Palmetto Bowl win last year. Gamecocks quarterback Lenoris Sellers with nearly 170 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns, including this one for the lead in the last minute, earning the nickname La Heisman. But this year, lots of losses for both teams. The Gamecocks were ranked 13th in the country. Clemson ranked 4th in the preseason, but since then, the Gamecocks only earned 1 conference win. Clemson barely squeaking out 6 total wins and bowl game eligibility. So a win Saturday would go a long way to salvaging this season and seeing it with successful spectacles. And these teams have been road warriors. The visiting team has won each of the last 5 Palmetto Bowls, and Clemson has won its last 5 in Columbia, the same spot for this year's Carolina Clash. And finally, it's a forever game, as Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney calls it, a season all unto its own with state pride for not only football, but also family and friends bragging rights on the line. Here's both head coaches on the magnitude and meaning of the matchup.
Nobody needs extra motivation to win this game. Game means a lot. I mean, you win, it's a great day. You lose, it's a really bad day in your life. Everybody wants to win because it's a rivalry game. It's a huge game. It's a state championship. It doesn't matter if you're in the playoff, if you're in the ACC championship game, whatever. It's all about this game.
There's a healthy respect. I mean, we want to, beat each other's brains out on Saturday. There's no question about it. And it's highly, highly, highly competitive. I mean, there's not going to be any kumbaya before the game or we're all loving everybody up and go team. I mean, it's a fierce rivalry. But there's I would hope, I know from my standpoint, a great appreciation to be part of this rivalry and a great respect for who we're competing against across the field, too.
Starting in 1896, it's one of the most played rivalries in all of college football. But how did we get here to this year's matchup? Well, Palmetto sports reporter Caroline Soro takes us down the road to the Palmetto Bowl.
Remember August 11th, the day the AP preseason poll rankings came out? Clemson coming in at number 4 and South Carolina at 13. Excitement only growing after last season's success. But week 1 only bringing heartbreak for the Tigers in the Death Valley duel. A 17-10 loss at the hands of the other Tigers, then number 9 LSU.
It's like getting the final exam day 1 of class. They made a 65, we made a 58.
While Carolina authored the latest chapter of textbook Beamer Ball, making special teams their specialty in USC's win over Coach Shane Beamer's alma mater, Virginia Tech.
You couldn't have scripted that any better.
But neither opener preparing us for both teams to drop out of the top 25 just 3 games into the season. Clemson surviving a 16-point deficit to Troy at home before losing on a last-second field goal to Georgia Tech the next week. And back in Death Valley, losing to Syracuse a week after that. The Tigers going 1-3 in their first 4, the worst start of head coach Dabo Swinney's tenure.
Clemson's tired of winning. they can send me on my way, but I'm going to go somewhere else and coach.
South Carolina going 2-2 in that same stretch, losing their first matchup with Vanderbilt in 16 meetings and on the road in the other Columbia at then number 23 Missouri. The Gamecocks' lone conference victory of the entire season coming in late September against Kentucky. Their only victory for nearly 2 full months. Number 11 LSU, number 14 Oklahoma, number 4 Alabama, number 7 Ole Miss, and number 3 Texas A&M. After leading 30-3 at halftime, collapsing in College Station, giving up the largest comeback in the entire SEC in the past 2 decades. And wiping away bowl hopes for USC.
For whatever reason, we haven't been great in the fourth quarter.
Meanwhile, after wins at Boston College and at Chapel Hill over Chapel Bill, the Tigers' troubles continued too, losing to SMU in the ACC Championship rematch without starting quarterback Cade Klubnik before getting downed by Duke at home for the first time since 1980 by 1 point in the last minute. The first time in nearly 25 years they lost 3 home games in one season.
And how we finish will be a part of the next championship.
Clemson clawing back toward bowl eligibility, starting with a home win over Florida State, surviving on the road at number 20 Louisville. Let's go, man! Then celebrating a win over Furman on Senior Day and a spot in a bowl game. 3-year starter Cade Klubnik winning the 25th game of his Clemson career in his final game in Death Valley.
I feel like I've just gave everything I have in the last 4 years.
And after 5 straight losses, Carolina clobbering Coastal Carolina.
We still got stuff to play for, still playing for names on our jerseys.
Both teams driving down a pretty bumpy road to the Palmetto Bowl, with this game as a separate stop to end the regular season.
There might be some games along the way you'll say, well, what happened in that game? And somebody will be like, yeah, I don't really remember. But you remember this one.
And there may not be national implications this year, but there's a whole lot of South Carolina implications.
For Palmetto Sports, I'm Caroline Sora.
The Gamecocks have won 2 of the last 3 Palmetto Bowls, so you do the quick math. That means the Clemson seniors trying to finish their careers with an even record against Carolina. Especially meaningful for Clemson senior quarterback Cade Klubnik, looking for rivalry redemption in his final Palmetto Bowl. He scored the Tigers only 2 touchdowns in last year's game, but then late in the fourth quarter, Cade throwing this interception with just a few seconds left, and the Tigers well within range for the game-tying field goal. That play sealing a South Carolina win.
It's definitely been something that I've thought about every day since. Yeah, the people that are on the field with you and the guys that are going through this week with me, those are the people that really matter.
Yeah, it'd mean a lot. Obviously, it's an in-state rival game. We beat them last year in the fashion we beat them last year. We just obviously want to do that again.
Another Gamecock hoping for that rivalry result with his name where they'll play the game. I asked South Carolina legendary wide receiver and Super Bowl champion Alshon Jeffrey a couple questions about the Carolina Clash on our very own talk show, Palmetto Sports Daily. Going into this Palmetto Bowl, your thoughts on the rivalry and the emotions that come up, and then this year's matchup as well.
I feel like my thoughts on the rivalry is special. This is what makes South Carolina and Clemson special. It's households, bragging rights. Every year is something different. It's new memories created. So I definitely look forward to it. Like I feel like Clemson and South Carolina, they definitely looking forward to. In general, the season hasn't been going as well for both teams, but this is the one that I feel like matters the most for his bragging rights, for his fan base, his family.
I wanted to ask Alshon because right when he finished, I mean, that 2010 sophomore season with 1,500 receiving yards, 88 catches, 9 touchdowns, averaging 110 receiving yards per game, he was on the way out while Clemson was on the way up in the dynasty that's now become. Alshon, your feelings toward Clemson, being a Gamecocks guy, have they cooled off a little bit, or you still have that same fire for the rivalry?
I still have that same fire for the rivalry, but I would say I'm proud of how they turned the table. I would say turned the tables on us, but also they've been representing the state of South Carolina pretty well, like winning national championships and stuff like that. So it's been great just to see how that program has been taking off and doing great things.
And dropping my pants, and I had the orange pants on, and they all went kind of crazy.
Coming up on the Carolina Clash special, my exclusive one-on-one interview with Clemson's first national champion head coach Danny Ford, the thoughts behind the transformation of the Tigers' trousers before the Carolina-Clemson matchup 45 years ago. Plus, we also have another story you can't get anywhere else in a Carolina comeback. Gamecocks Hall of Fame quarterback Connor Shaw on his recent recovery from a heart attack and the man who saved his life.
This is Jerry. He lived all by himself in a big, lonely house. He would wake up alone and eat alone and do the crossword on a park bench alone. But then he adopted me. Now we have each other. We do everything together. Although I haven't convinced him to let me have half of his food yet. There's just 2 of us after all. So I'm working on it. Make your own before and after and find a new best friend.
I'm Matt Glass with Glass Wealth Management. We challenge conventional retirement planning. After helping hundreds of families retire confidently and eliminating risks they weren't even aware of, I created the Glass Path, a proprietary planning system that segments your assets across 3 stages, reducing nearly every common pitfall along the way. To guide you on your path to retirement, I put it all into one easy-to-read book, Retire on the Glass Path. You can get your free digital copy right now at glasswealtheducation.com.
Is your home ready for a holiday upgrade? Fanning's Appliances is bringing you the lowest prices of the season. That's right, the lowest prices on everything in the store. Plus incredible doorbusters. Top load washer dryer set starting at just $8.49. Ranges with convenient air fry features from $5.95. And laundry towers starting at $7.79. These deals are flying out the door. Quantity is limited, so hurry into Fanning's Appliances today and save big.
Tell them Danny Ford sent you.
Morning, Carl. Usual?
Yeah.
Your oldest was in here the other day. Said the 2 of you took a trip down to my neck of the woods. How'd that go?
You might as well give me one of those Carolina cars while you're at it.
I knew I'd like that one.
Yeah.
There you go, my friend.
Thanks.
Hey, Carl. Congratulations.
See you tomorrow, ready?
You bet.
Back in 1980, the Tigers started a tradition with their trousers before the Gamecocks matchup in Death Valley, appearing in their usual white pants in warm-ups, then emerging at the top of the hill in orange pants, and the Orange Crush clobbering Carolina 27-6, despite being led by the only Heisman Trophy winner ever from South Carolina, running back George Rogers. On the 45th anniversary of the Tigers trousers tradition, I sat down with the Clemson coach that led that crew, Danny Ford, for an exclusive interview about that moment and the national championship it led to just 1 year later. How did that come about, and what were you hoping to get out of the team to change into those orange pants?
So we needed something for an extra motivation. So the orange pants came up, and I remember getting up on the table with a pair of sweats on and dropping my pants, and I had the orange pants on, and they all went kind of crazy. And so we came back dressed in our regular uniforms, warmed up, then they came back and put the orange pants on. We happened to have a hot day. Willie Underwood intercepted 2 passes, and I'll say to this day, if they would have ran George Rogers 50 times, the orange pants would have been history. We would never stopped them. And so we won the football game, and then everybody thought it was the magic of the orange pants, but really it was the magic of the players who put their legs in the orange pants. That just sort of made the crowd get into it more. It sort of gave our players something a little bit extra. and everything went our way on that particular day.
So what did that win do, Coach? Because, like you mentioned, 1980, George Rogers, a couple weeks later, the running back goes on to win the Heisman Trophy against you guys. I think you went for 160 yards, but no touchdowns. But you guys to beat the 14th-ranked Gamecocks here at home. Of course, you go on to win the national title the next year. But what did that game do for your career and the Tigers?
A lot of people said that that I was under a lot of pressure about being released. I don't remember that like that. Bill McClellan, our athletic director, I think he would have came to me and said, you need to win this game or we're going to let you go. But he never did that, And so I can't say if that happened or not. But what it did do to us was it improved our football team's confidence for the following year.
Coach, you finished with a 16-2 record every time you guys wore the orange pants, which is pretty good. So
and what I'd ask you if we were 16-2 is who's the two teams that beat our butt.
I know, we got to look into that because they're the orange beaters. That's the orange kryptonite.
That's the orange beaters, but I don't like for them to lose in orange pants. Orange pants was something special for us. And it was a turnaround year, and it was a launching pad to the first national championship at Clemson. Just beat the Gamecocks in this coming week.
Well, thanks so much for the time, Coach. Appreciate it. The same year, Built Ford Tough became a slogan. Danny Ford took over the Tigers, a fitting Clemson coincidence. Another tough man in this rivalry, the winningest quarterback in Gamecocks history, Connor Shaw, recently coming back from a heart attack at just 34 years old. Fox Carolina's Carrie Beal spoke exclusively with Connor and the man who saved his life about that day and the motivation for their new message.
Here at Graceley Park in Simpsonville, Connor Shaw says the offense had just scored. His son's team was cheering and celebrating. His wife was taking this video from the sidelines, and then Connor started to feel nauseous.
So I'm making my way over to our sideline to talk to our assistant coach and like, hey man, I'm not feeling good. Hand him the playbook. And that's when I collapsed into sudden cardiac arrest.
Connor's heart had suddenly stopped beating. The only way to save his life is CPR and an AED. Caleb Carter is a firefighter. He didn't know Connor personally, but rushed over to his aid without hesitation.
So we started CPR, and it was about 5 minutes before other responders got to us, and we got AED on.
When medics arrived, they used an AED on Connor. The device delivers an electric shock to restore heart rhythm.
Very thankful, and it was a miracle that I was able to survive it.
How did it impact you emotionally? Are there days where you're still like, wow, I'm here?
Yeah, well, it feels like a fever dream sometimes.
Connor says his wife was 8 months pregnant when he had cardiac arrest. Now, they just welcomed their third son.
My wife still has her moments, and so do I, of just the overwhelming sense of gratitude and how close I was, not to meet my new son last Monday, and have my kids go through life without a dad.
He is now using his voice to start an initiative called the Heart Huddle. He hopes to get AEDs in as many parks and athletic fields as possible, and encourages people to learn CPR, because if it weren't for Caleb, Connor would not be here today.
I reference Mark 16:15, where you go preach to all creation, and Heart Huddle is going to be a conduit to do that, and hear about more survivor stories, and to praise his name because of it.
Great story there. We have that full interview along with thoughts from a cardiologist on what exactly happened to Connor Shaw on our website, foxcarolina.com, plus in the podcast, The Wellness Files with Carrie Beal. It's available wherever you get your podcasts.
If it was up to me, it's definitely Gamecock household.
Coming up, the strong symbols from one Carolina couple explaining how they stay united despite their house divided.
Hi, it's Greg Ellie with Prosperity Group. When it comes to your retirement, there's so many important choices. It can seem like a lot, but you don't have to do it alone, and having the right information plus the tools is a great place to start. That's why I'm giving away my book, Prosperity Plan ABCs. It's filled with safe money strategies, examples, and advice that could really help you in retirement. All you have to do is call today and get your free copy.
Is your home ready for a holiday upgrade? Downing's Appliances is bringing you the lowest prices of the season. That's right, the lowest prices on everything in the store. Plus incredible doorbusters. Top load washer dryer set starting at just $8.49. Ranges with convenient air fry features from $5.95. And laundry towers starting at $7.79. These deals are flying out the door. Quantity is limited, so hurry into Downing's Appliances today and save big.
Tell them Danny Ford sent you.
When you play Cash Pop from the South Carolina Education Lottery, who knows where the light will take you? Winning Cash Pop is easy, but what you do with the cash is entirely up to you.
This is one of our best events, and I live for this day. It's like Christmas morning, pretty much. It's something that just brings everyone together.
Something that brings every Tigers fan together. Clemson students laying the Gamecocks mascot to rest at their yearly event, Cocky's Funeral, burning down the 15-foot mascot replica to get ready for the rivalry. It's one of Clemson's oldest traditions, dating all the way back to 1902. But South Carolina fighting fire with fire for their own tradition of the Tiger Burn, setting fire to the Clemson mascot in Columbia. Palmetto Sports reporter Ella Grogan brings us the background behind the burn.
Before taking on their rival from here in Clemson, the Gamecocks have celebrated a tradition that has stood for more than a century. Way back in 1902, after South Carolina beat the Tigers in an upset, Clemson students weren't too happy about this poster showing a Gamecock riding and whipping a terrified tiger. Carolina fans carrying that poster in a parade following their win, causing a violent riot between the students so bad it suspended the Palmetto Bowl for 7 years. As a peace offering, the poster was burned, but it sparked a new tradition. South Carolina's Tiger Burn in Columbia.
I just wanted to see the tiger burn to the ground and get ready for Clemson Hate Week.
But creating this 34-foot tiger is one tall task. Dozens of South Carolina student engineers spend months building their Clemson rivals mascot just to burn it down in minutes.
Our rivalry just continues to be the talk of the town, so the Tiger Burn just sets off the whole week. Can't wait to see a Tiger Burn. And we hope we're gonna burn them on Saturday too.
The symbol adding fuel to the Gamecocks' fire for more than 100 years.
I think the past couple games have been a little bummy, but like the events that they have put on and like the drives have definitely perked up the spirit in everything.
Yes, like she said, our last couple games have been a little bad, but this shows that nothing can break our spirit for the Gamecocks. Go Gamecocks!
While the Tigers hope to extinguish those flames in the state's biggest rivalry game Saturday.
And the rivalry started in 1896, but the Clemson-South Carolina rivalry still unites and separates families to this day. Before the Palmetto Bowl Saturday, I spoke with a Clemson-Carolina couple about living in a house divided.
First question I have to ask you guys, is this a Tigers household or a Gamecocks household?
Tiger. I would say if it was up to me, it's definitely Gamecock household.
Summer Freeman and Evan Myers live in a house divided. Summer, a lifelong Tigers fan. Evan, a lifelong Gamecocks fan, with strong symbols of where they stand.
My mother actually would always tell me that you got a heart of gold, son, and that's going to be one of your greatest attributes in life. And I love my Gamecocks a lot, and I've always stayed true to them, so I figured I would put it close to my heart.
Go Gamecocks.
There's my Clemson tattoo right there. I would get one in memory of my dad, though. No problem.
Summer cherishing a Clemson blanket draped over her father's casket at his funeral.
It's like the closest that my dad can be to me. as in spirit.
In 2013, Summer buried her father, Ed Henderson Jr., in a Clemson polo, a tiger paw on his headstone. She hasn't been able to watch Clemson football since. What's stopping you from turning on the Clemson Tigers?
I don't want to cry.
But in a good way. It would be happy tears more than
Yeah, it wouldn't be sad tears at all. It would be happy tears.
Oh,
It
yeah.
would be happy memories.
Absolutely.
He's got Clemson on there and Clemson there, and there's orange right there.
But with the support of the new man in her life, she's decided to watch this year's Palmetto Bowl.
She likes this team, I don't like that team, but, I love her, so you might have to, give in a little bit, so to speak. That's why my back's touching the Clemson blanket right now.
That's your compromise.
Yeah, that's my compromise.
Definitely, there's going to be some choice words and
Most definitely.
some bad language, but a lot of laughs. And and I told you so at the end.
That's exactly right.
Evan and Summer will be united on the couch in their house divided.
It's only going to strengthen our relationship to watch the game together and see who comes out on top.
A South Carolina Clemson compromise, smart move there by Evan. And our own family, the Palmetto Sports Daily team, has some final thoughts on the one-game season that is this year's Palmetto Bowl. Joined by WIS Sports Director Rick Henry and WCSC Sports Director Kevin Bilodeau, we have a combined 75 or so years of Palmetto Bowl coverage experience, and this will be my third, so that tells you where we stand here. But Rick, your final score prediction for this matchup and why, the biggest reason?
Well, looking at these two teams and looking at the defenses, did you know that South Carolina ranks 45th nationally? Clemson ranks 46th. South Carolina has given up 3,813 yards. Clemson 3,815. They both have given up 24 offensive touchdowns. Surprisingly tight. And so I think it's going to be a defensive struggle, and I'm going to pick South Carolina to win by 3, 17-14.
Yeah, I'm going to take Clemson 19-7. No basis for that really, other than Clemson doesn't lose in Columbia, at least over the last decade or so. It's been a long time. I believe 2013 was the last time the Gamecocks beat Clemson at Williams-Brice Stadium. I can't get a feel for these teams, and especially not when they're going up against each other. I just feel like there's going to be something really stupid that's going to happen that one team is going to do that the other team is going to be able to capitalize on, and that's going to end up being the difference in this one, Carmine.
Thank you both for joining us, and we'll see what happens in the Palmetto Bowl. And for the record, I'm picking Clemson to beat Carolina 20-14 in a close one decided on the final drive. And by scanning that QR code right there on your screen and downloading the Palmetto Sports app, you can watch or listen to every episode of Palmetto Sports Daily, plus get exclusive content you can't get anywhere else, including my full interview with Clemson national champion coach Danny Ford. And we have much more on our TV channel, the Palmetto Sports and Entertainment Network. That's Spectrum, channel 703 and 21.2 on antenna. We're airing 7 different Palmetto Bowl classics, including the Brawl in 2004, so make sure you check that out. If you need a little time away from family, we could all use a break, but hey, we only get a few days off before the Palmetto Bowl. Cannot wait to see this one. Thank you for joining us. A thank you that extends across the state.